My name is Eric Antoine, and I guess you're here to talk about the passage from being a skate photographer to being an art photographer. And I'm a skateboarder, and I'm 51 years old. We are in Alsace. It's a village in the middle of a forest. My neighbor's place was a very big hunter's house. It was a German lord. He built the three houses in 1903. My house was where the horses were and the people who took care of the horses. It was really in bad conditions when we moved in. We renovated it with a lot of reclaimed wood and stuff we found in flea markets. And now I have a studio here, I have a nice atelier, I have a lot of space to shoot. I guess living in a forest, even if it's in a village, you have a different lifestyle because you are drawn to go under the trees most of the time. I hate to use these words, but there is something really healing and a special energy. I really enjoy being in the forest, and that's, you know, like if you look at my photos, it's me, it's where I live, you know. I shoot trees that are like 100 meters from my house.
That one too, and I started taking photos of it, and this was small, and now it's like almost as big as the tree. So this one I shoot every year, and this one too. But this one I knew when this was alive, but now I think it's gonna fall down at one point. It's really dry.
The first 5 years I was shooting with this process, I decided to shoot only my house. I picked everything that was 100 meters from my bed. I always believe that people want to see everything to know more, but I think if you see less, you know better. You know? And I'd rather know better than knowing more. Whenever I don't feel too good, you just go on a hike and discover a new place in the forest, and it's endless. You don't even have to go in vacations. Every morning I wake my daughter up and we walk through the forest to bring her to school. And on the way back, I usually try to put my feet in cold water in the river and come back home and think about the rest of the day. For my photos, I need a white sky, clouds, but very bright. So it has to be a beautiful day, but cloudy. In a year, I probably have like less than 50 days where I can shoot photos. And I probably take like 20 photos. Yeah, this is what I do. And of course, when it's sunny and I have the time, I always try to do. The first thing I want to think about is, can I skate? My partner and I, when we renovated the house, she noticed that I didn't skate anymore because I had to drive an hour. I was kind of depressed from not skating enough, and she said, yeah, you know, like for your birthday, I'll just ask people to come here and help you. A lot of good friends helped me. Now I have my own concrete skate park at home, which is nice. And I was lucky enough that a great skater came from Paris, and we skate together and we opened some spots in the city, sanded, grinded and waxed some curbs. When you're like 17, you skate every day, but you don't really realize that, you know, there's an end to it. Right now, like I think like every session I'm like, you know, we say party like it's the last day on earth, but it's like skate like it's the last day you skate.
Oh, it's cold!
never studied and I was not meant to be an artist or to consider myself this. You know, I work with galleries who sell my work, so it's the definition of what I do. And so I do some artwork that I sell. It's how I live, and I don't even see myself as a photographer too much lately. My work with photography now is more like a way to reflect on the essence of photography itself, you know, and trying to research what it is and what the limits of photography are. And I was always trying something new for that. I didn't want to do a regular portraits. I would do a Polaroid portrait, I would do like a modified lens portrait, I would modify my lenses, I would do a different type of printing. Now I'm where I am, but I have the feeling that I still do it the same way I was doing it with skateboarding, because I never really did digital photos. When it happened, I stopped actually. I got my first Nikon FM2 in late '95, and then I started shooting people in New York. And magazines were interested by this, and then actually one of my really first photos with flashes was the cover of the second Sugar magazine. Then after that, I think I have like over 4,000 pages in magazines. I probably took skate photos professionally for around 15 years. And it was before internet, so we could work with many magazines in many countries. It was sort of like one article for everybody. So yeah, I managed to make a good living. This. I always, half of my career, I always use the same box. Is there something in there? Yeah, this went back and forth so many times. Like it's... So the story behind this is that I was trying to always send the same box to Sugar, Freestyler, so they would always like put more stickers and or take some off and put more and send back. It's really in bad shape. What do you want to see? I don't know what's in there. Daniel Cardone in Paris. It's a mythical spot. That's Wade Spire and that's Church. It's one of my favorite Marseille photos. Dustin Dollin kickflip indie over the spine, over the hip in Marseille. Dude, these are old. Eric Custon. We found a good box. Eric Custon, Guy Mariano, probably Radlands 1999. This is Harold Hunter. This was taken in '95 with my first camera in New York. And the camera had leaks, and I really liked it because my dad gave me this camera before I went to New York, and it's one of my first skate photos. And this is Vinnie Ponte in Tribeca in '96. I have a super funny story about that one. Dude, I think it's the first time I saw someone do a frontside kickflip in front of me. He frontside kickflipped like overhead. And at one point, one guy passed by and he almost hit his head. And then I see all the fuss and something. I say, oh no, we're gonna get in trouble. And then I hear them talking like super loud and blah, 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 blah. And I got closer and it was Harvey Keitel. And he was a big fan of Harvey Keitel and he knew him because he was going to the restaurant of his dad. And he recognized him. He's like, oh, no way. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know, in a beef between Vinnie Ponte and Harvey Keitel in the middle of New York. Yeah, this is my first contact sheet. These are my first skate photos. An alternative angle of the Harold Hunter photo. And here it's Harold trying a backside tail slide. Phil Frost, Mark Gonzalez here. Skate photo of me. I was probably 18 or 19, and it was shot by the guy who taught me how to print photos. First important moment is that in New York I met some people who were taking photos. Alexis, Benjamin, Sébastien, three guys who were taking photos who later made Sugar magazine. And Alexis was working for a Swiss magazine at the time called Flat. And he asked me if I could take photos, and Thomas Campbell lived there at the time, and I was a big fan. So all of them, they kind of inspired me and taught me some things. And we became friends and started Sugar magazine. So I would send photos to Sugar, and I would send photos to Flat. They would send me film. Then after a while, they gave me a bit of money. And then the very important moment is when I met Oli, because I was finally able to shoot photos in my region of someone who had like a crazy level of skateboarding, because he was really good. So I started like traveling with him. We went to California, and then he started like doing Soltech Europe, and then he asked me if I wanted to shoot the photos for them, and this is what I did for like 12 years. Traveled with the America team, S team, Ethnis team, young Brandon Westgate. I think it was his first America trip. Oh, that's Leo Romero. Number 2. Arto doing a nollie hill flip in Spain. Andrew Reynolds. That was a very cool moment. We went on that really long trip in Germany. Oh, that's Yves Kirchhoff, this one. It's in Austria, I think, that. Oh, it's so fun to find these. Thank you, guys. I never look into them. What is this? Oh, fisheye. The fisheye on the Hasselblad happened. I kind of find it now with this round aspect of my old lenses. I have the feeling that it's very similar to the Hasselblad fisheye. So many good memories. Oh yeah, it's a sequence of Yves Kirchhoff, and the magazine never, they never sent me back the landing. Thank you, Sidewalk magazine. This is one of my favorite skate photos I took. Homemade t-shirt in the opening of the first Russian skate park in 2002. Enis Vasiliev is such an underrated skater. Actually, that's the Company S sequence. Of course, he did it first try, so I had only one chance to have it right. But look, it was at the time where he kind of disappeared. It was obviously not a good photo, but it was very rare to have photos of him at the time, so they ran it. I feel bad. Pontus' first DIY spot. That day, we had that guy cut a skate spot for us. There was a full pipe, and he cut an opening with this tool. I think they were stealing the metal, and we asked them if they could make us an access to the full pipe, and they did it for us. Oh, Javier Mendizabal. Oh, this one, I love this photo. It's like a couple of years after the war in Bosnia, and it's you see all the bullet holes, and we skated this bank. If somebody remembers my photos, it's what I've heard, like people would tell me, oh, you are the guy doing all the black and white prints, you know, the things you do and the thing you are forced to do. And I was kind of forced to do color photos with flashes, and I didn't really enjoy that. I like to have my FM2 with a long lens. I always like to show what was going on around where I was, not only a fisheye photo of a trick. And see, I was telling you that I was sometimes making my photos look like what I'm doing now. Because they are like just regular prints, but I was altering them or making them look older. See, I was already making landscapes with strange prints. Yeah, this was really the time where I was making the switch to different type of photography. And yeah, the last trip I did was probably with Volcom in 2011. And that was it. I kind of lost contact with most of these people. I just have, I think, I have contact with Axel Kreuzberg. Sometimes we talk a little bit with Enis, thanks to Instagram. The treasure chest. I don't know, man. Honestly, like it's this thing. It's more. I think I've never opened it since 2011, but I think it's probably like more like party related than skate related. It's a box where like every time I went on a trip, I kept one item to remind me of the trip. We would buy these on trips. I remember we took one from each trip at one point. Oh man, this I can't tell the story. My first exhibition, 2004, I think. In a very dangerous situation, I jumped from a boat in the Rhine, and then a guy went after me with my wife's top, wearing it, and I never understood how he got my wife's top on him. That's the wife's top. I kept it. A farting cushion. All the stuff in there is kind of stupid, you know. You grow older, and you do this in your 20s. When you're like almost 40, you look at that and you're like, yeah, you know, it's kid stuff, and you keep traveling with kids because skateboarders, most of them are young. And when you're like 38 years old and you're on a trip with a 17-year-old who drinks for the first time and do stupid stuff, it's kind of hard to relate. I think at one point I was too responsible. I was an adult, I was married, I was cooking my meals and trying to be on time for everything, and I think I was annoying for the younger people. An example, you go on a trip and everybody's doing drugs and you're the only one who say, oh, don't do this, we should skate, we should do that. I think you are the problem, you know, even though, you know, you're probably responsible and you know what you're doing, but you're ruining the experience for the other guys. I made many, look, this one too. And this one, I never really noticed that I made this many. This I would love to do more. I really like this, and I would love to do more album covers. That's the title of the book. I work in series, so it's pretty easy. I just put them next to each other, and then I can see which ones are stronger than another one and complete each other. For me, it's the best part of making a book. And actually the book, to me, it became the goal of my photography. It's a series of 5 books. The first one was black, and every time I make a book, I change the color. The second one was dark gray. Then the third one is gonna be lighter gray. The fourth one will be cement, and the last one will be white. My last book, I will be 70 years old, and then it will be... I like to plan things. So that's the part where I have to eliminate a lot. So I have to pick which one. It's hard. No. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's a good process with the socks. Thank you, Pontus. Yes. Yes. No. Yes, yes. So that's how you make a book. $74. We're good. Yeah, I kind of wanted to do this before you arrived because it looks terrible with the red. Sorry, it's not a German brand. I wish. Let's see. I have to make the negative on the spot where I shoot the photos and develop it where like a maximum 10 minutes after I prepare the negative. So I need to have a lab next to me, next to my camera. So when I go far from my lab, I need another lab. So even if I shoot a photo at the end of the street, I have to bring this. And then I set my lab in there, and I can prepare everything. And see, it's my companion. I always travel with it. It's my best friend. When I started having bigger cameras, it was 19th century cameras, and the one I got was 25 kilos. You can't really use it daily, you know, you can't carry it. Back in the days, they were in a studio and they didn't move. They were on a stand and they would stay there. So I remembered I saw a post of that guy who made a camera in Bulgaria, and then I contacted him and I said, hey, do you think you could make a bigger camera, like a 40 by 40 centimeter camera, but without brass lenses? And they used brass parts in the past. So I asked him to replace everything with aluminum. So little by little, talking with Andre about this, like he was nice enough to listen to my suggestions. And now he actually builds all his cameras like that. And it looks old, but it's very modern. You know, I'm not drawn to the process because it's old, not at all. I'm drawn to it because of its precision and the density of the black or the dark. It's super crisp, it's different. It's a different way of sharpness. You can have like an Hasselblad extremely sharp photo, but it's a different sharpness. With these, you have the impression that you can go in the photo. This is why I shoot all the still lifes. All my models are here. This is the stuff I shoot. I have all these things that I make, that I take photos of, all these books that I collected, all these. I have like different shapes, all of these. I like to shoot objects, it's easier than people. That actually would be a portrait. Like, this is the way I shoot my photos now, and then when I stopped taking portraits, I started making these, and every layer of these represents a memory, and you have the connection between different memories in your life with the little threads, these. And every little dot has a meaning. All right. So I usually don't do this because I never use artificial light. But it's a very bad day. I would not take a photo if you guys were not here. So the only way we can take a photo today is using artificial lights. I have like probably less than 1 ISO. So, and we're gonna use a modern lens, which I also rarely do. It's very recent that I built this studio. I used to take all my photos in the laundry room. Yeah, I think it's okay. We could shoot it. We're gonna do a developer. So we need this. It's the simplest thing to do, the developer. So all of this you can find in a drugstore or a pharmacy. Sure, mid-19th century, that was, yeah, you had to do that way or nothing, you know. When you have the good recipes, it's very easy to make chemicals. See, they have a different color. This one is 1 month old, this one is 1 week old. It's a lot of ether, and you have to pour it and look at it, so you breathe it a lot. So I usually try to limit myself to 4 or 5 photos a day, to not breathe too much, you know, and I make crazy dreams. Okay, this is all my silver nitrate. So this is good. This is also good. There's a lot of silver nitrate here. I have 3 baths ready that need to fill this up. And it was not really a problem before, but now, like since the wars and Trump and all this, the prices of gold and silver went really up from like probably like 600 euro for a kilo to probably 2,000 euro now. With the price of silver, it's probably like 1,000 euro for these 2 bottles. Since the beginning of photography, we try to find a surface where you put a chemical or something that could stick to the surface. And then this thing, I simplify, but this thing that you put on top of a surface, which is paper, glass, metal, anything. This thing that you put on top has to be sensitive to the light. So you make it sensitive with a silver bath or a silver solution of any kind, and then then you try to glue it or make it stick to a surface, whatever you chose, and be able to capture the light and fix it. The glass is my surface, the collodion is what sticks to the surface, and the silver is what makes the collodion sensitive. And yeah, my equipment is old, and I don't change it very often. Coming from like punk rock, skateboarding, and things like that, kind of like, yeah, turn you into this, I don't know, do things in a more alternative way. So it looks very messy, but it's controlled. I know where everything is. And ready? Let's do this. I never use these lights, so I'll just experiment. Close it 11 and then let's see. We'll try. Let's try 1 minute and 20 seconds. This is a darker zone, so it's just like when you print in the lab. You know, you can add some light to certain places. Oh, okay, I do 130. I don't know what I'm doing. It's an experiment. I have to say that you forced me to do a photo, so. Okay. You ready? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got it. You see? Mm-hmm. See how it clears? You see the silver? It has this brownish color, and boom. It's still magical after all these years, you know? It might still be a bit dark, but at least you can see something, right? And I have my first 30 ends of the year, which is gonna stay for a week or two. I made these frames so you understand that it's the same photo, but it could be negative and positive. And I really like the two aspects that are on the same photo. I also like the idea that you can go from a dark perspective to a bright perspective. So I like to show in my photos this duality in life, you know, like black and darker moments, brighter moments, because I don't use people and I don't use obvious facts. I need to use symbols. So that's a good example. So you see, as soon as I take my photo, this is what I have. But it's negative. But when you pass from this one to this one, this is the particularity of this process, is that if you block the light with a darker background, you will see a positive. Negative, positive. If you look at this, like the way the light shows here on the side of this bowl, that triggers me, you know, I really like, this is a turn on for me. See the way the light is here? I could take this photo over and over again just for that, just the way the light appears here. And look at this here, like there's so many details in this little piece that goes down here. The frame is part of the work. The idea that it's made at my house with wood that comes from around my house, with the glass I picked, the chemicals I made, the things I made, it's like, again, like it's all this DIY aspect of it that I want to be completely free with this, you know. I don't depend on anybody. I just like the idea of doing everything myself. Here I can complain, and the only person I complain to, it's me. So like, instead of being a dick to other people, I isolate myself and I do it on my own. So I just try not to be a dick. Yeah, I can't do anything else. And also, it's like 6 kilos. It's like something, you know, it's an object. And when you have it in your hand, it's like the opposite of a digital file, you know? It's like, this is real. This is as real as it gets when it comes to photography. You can't just go fast all the time and do crazy things, and then there is a moment where you have to connect again, like to materials, to nature, to more tangible things. I don't know. It's like you don't eat pills, you have a great meal with an amazing cheese that was made by someone who knows how to do it. It's not a pill, the result is the same. You eat, you're fed, you know, but if you eat good, it's a different experience. It's the same with everything.